Good evening, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. And I'm really excited to see my pictures in the Knesset because I miss this part of my work, because being CEO, it's totally different than doing the real work. So when people ask me where I'm from, I think of my grandmother, Nasra. One-story house with a giant fig tree in Lakia. You saw Lakia in the video. A Bedouin village in the Negev. Every August, the tree would explode with sweet fruits, and I would invite my friends from the neighborhood to eat figs and climb the trees with me. In the tent next to the house, my grandmother, with her covered hair in 2 braids and a gold nose ring, would host guests around the fire that was always lit. In the Bedouin community, you don't tell people ahead of time that you are coming. The door is just always open. We lived with open doors and open hearts. But around the age of 12, I began attending a school in a kibbutz. For years, moving between these worlds felt like walking a tightrope. It is within these shared spaces that I learned to use my authentic voice. I never tried to erase any part of who I am. I learned this from my father. I remember I was 20 years old, coming home from meeting with President Shimon Peres many years ago. My dad asked me how it went, and I told him that Peres spoke about the Bedouin community but left out important issues about the unrecognized villages. I had stayed quiet. My father asked, "You didn't say anything?" I said, I was scared that I could be kicked out of university if I told the truth. He said, "Yes, and then the court will bring you back." From that day, I knew my family would support me no matter what, and so I always said what I thought, even when it was dangerous, even in places where I was expected to soften the pain of my community or hide the complexity. In front of cameras and people with power, I would simply tell the truth that continues to guide my work until today. As we stand here in June 26, the reality in the Negev, my home, is more urgent than ever. Bedouin society is facing huge challenges. The situation in the unrecognized villages, especially, is bleeding wound. About 100,000 people in the Bedouin community of the Negev live in unrecognized villages. This means they do not exist on the state map. So if you open the official map of the state of Israel, you will not see the Bedouin unrecognized villages. You will see it like empty area. They don't get basic resources like sewage, electricity, or internet. When missiles are being fired from Iran, people have no shelters to run to. Can you imagine? Can you imagine sirens on your phone and have nowhere to hide from falling bomb? Since October 7th, 6 children and 1 woman have been killed from rockets falling in the unrecognized villages. There have been many days when whole families slept under highway bridges or in sewage tunnels seeking for protection. But more often than missiles, these communities face regular home demolitions by the state. Entire villages have been uprooted, like al-Hiran, which was destroyed to make way for new Jewish Orthodox community, or Al-Arakib, which has been totally demolished and then rebuilt by residents more times than I can count. Since October 7th, there have been 3 entire villages erased by the Israeli government. They are not exist today. Villages where children climbed big fig trees. Villages with open doors and grandmothers serving coffee to guests. All destroyed. For me, these are not just newspaper headlines. They are existential threats to my home, my family, and the future of Bedouin society in the Negev. And this crisis demands immediate solution. Recognition, planning, investment in education and employment. And above all, treating Bedouin residents of the Negev as equal citizens, not as a demographic or security threats. We at Negev Coexistence Forum are standing up for the unrecognized villages and creating the knowledge and the awareness that allows real work to get done. The last research project we did was about the lack of bomb shelters in the Bedouin villages. This research is being used by all of the organizations that are working with Negev residents to advocate to build more shelters. As a result of this, in the last few weeks, 100 new shelters were put in the unrecognized villages in the Negev by the state. My vision for the future is a vision of Negev where every person lives with equality and dignity. I long for a society in which partnership is not a slogan, but a living reality where everyone's interest, rights, and dignity are protected. Over my years of work, I learned about what it takes to build shared society of Arabs and Jews living together. This cannot just be theoretical concept. It can't only happen in air-conditioned academic conferences. We cannot speak about coexistence while citizens wake up every morning fearing bulldozers that may demolish their homes. Real partnership requires us to show up fully, not only when it's convenient, but every day, every hour, even in the hardest moments. My connection to the New Israel Fund comes from this understanding. NIF has deep recognition that social justice cannot be separated from the right of the Bedouin community. NIF support showed me that there are partners who understand that democracy and equality are not privileges. They are necessary for shared life. Despite the challenges, I refuse to give up. My activism does not come from anger. It comes from deep sense of belonging, responsibility, and belief in the people who live together there. I really was surprised to receive this award. I never acted with an expectation of receiving anything in return. Here and now, I'm grateful for the recognition of the past and for the energy it gives me for the future. I want to thank Linda and Sandy Gallanter for your gift and your trust. And thank you to NIF, Miki, and Shira, and everyone who support this work for your partnership, and for your recognizing my path, a path that belongs to an entire community seeking simply to live with dignity, equality, and peace on its land. And a special thanks to my father, Sultan Abu Obaid, who is sitting here. Who's sitting here and is also on the NIF team, who taught me to stand up for myself and fight for my beliefs. Thank you very much.